I'm sure you've heard time and time again how important laboratory safety is. In this video, we will discuss some of the most critical aspects of laboratory safety. This video is not meant to comprehensively cover all aspects of lab safety, but to familiarize you with the laboratory environment and provide you with the tools to build some common sense about working in a laboratory. This picture was taken after a lab user wearing flip-flops in lab accidentally spilled acid on themselves. The lab user suffered severe burns. Many accidents in lab happen because students are rushing. The best thing you can do to prevent this is by coming to lab prepared. Material safety data sheets, which contain information about chemical hazards, can be looked up before coming to lab, and procedures should be thoroughly reviewed. Also, consult with the TA or instructor if you are not familiar with the hazards of the chemicals you are using. I can't emphasize enough how being prepared will save you time and reduce your stress in lab. In certain lab environments, you may have limited time to complete your experiments. In these situations, it is critical that you are well prepared before coming to lab. If you don't feel prepared to carry out an experiment, don't set it up at that time. You should never feel excessively rushed in lab. Rushing can lead to accidents and spills and will make you late for the very thing that you were hurrying to do. It is critical that you don't take unnecessary risks when working in the lab. If you are prepared for lab and are not rushing, you will minimize unnecessary risks. Be sure to follow your protocols exactly and do not cut corners. Not only will this help to ensure your safety, it may also save you from ruining an experiment by cutting out something that you shouldn't have. Be patient and be sure to wait for your reactions to finish. Do not skip steps. Even though it seems like this could save time, it could create a dangerous situation and ruin your reaction. Never engage in horseplay in the lab, and be careful not to startle anyone while they are working. It is important to be aware of others working around you in the lab and to use safe practices even if you're not setting up experiments yourself. You can be injured by someone else's experiment when you least expect it. Be sure to wear proper safety attire whenever you're moving around the lab, even if you're just chatting or asking your instructor a question. We've touched on this a little bit, but we'd like to stress the importance of hygiene in lab. It is important to protect your skin. Skin should be protected by clothing and/or a lab coat. And closed-toed shoes should be worn to protect your feet. You should not wear shorts, tank tops, or open-toed shoes in the lab. There have been a number of injuries to students who did not follow this rule. If you think your gloves have become contaminated, remove them. Wash your hands and put on a new pair of gloves. Wash your hands frequently, especially before leaving the lab. You should never consume food or drink in the lab, as this can increase your risk of ingesting trace amounts of chemicals. Accordingly, you should not chew gum in lab. Applying makeup in the lab is also discouraged for the same reason. Be sure to keep walkways clear and never store backpacks or glass bottles on the floor where they may cause someone to trip or can be knocked over. In teaching labs, when many students are present at one time, it may be difficult to find space for your belongings. If you feel that there is not enough space to store your belongings without placing them in a walkway, ask your instructor where you should put your bags. Don't just let them pile up on the floor. Finally, it is important that you maintain lab cleanliness as well. In a cluttered lab space, you are more likely to lose track of items, knock things over, and have an accident. Remember, it is your personal responsibility to maintain lab safety, no matter what others are doing. In the event of an accident, you can minimize injury by wearing proper attire and following safety guidelines.